Hey, what's up everyone? DayTraderRockStar here, and tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other of the altcoins, and we're going to talk about how we're trading those. A lot of information on this video, actually going into 2018. I would also put this out as a prediction of where I see some of the cryptocurrencies going this year, especially coming up very soon. So I wanted to get this out. It is January 6th, I believe, maybe even hope it's the 7th. It's Sunday. Tomorrow the markets open up again. I'll be broadcasting live on DayTradingRadio.com if you want to come and hang out with us. We have a lot of great group of traders there, and we're broadcasting live the markets from 8 o'clock Eastern Time until the close. And then, of course, overnight sessions, we usually follow the cryptocurrencies. So the important thing is I've been starting to chart out the cryptocurrencies. I've been in the stock trading business for over 20 years, and my stock trading or charting abilities, I would say, ranks up there with the best of them. And I've really built a great methodology based off of some patterns and stuff that play out well with stocks. It's called a high probability methodology. So with really with the surge of cryptocurrencies and really the opportunity here of seeing this new product to trade, we want to apply some of the same techniques I use on stocks and see how they show up. So I've been trading, or actually I've been trading and charting a lot of the cryptocurrencies, and currently charting Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin right now, because I believe Bitcoin is going to give us a huge opportunity in the next few days. And I want to explain why that is going to play out. All right, so first of all, a couple of the terms. You might be a new beginner, new beginner. That's an oxymoron, right? Or is that something else, what we call, whatever. Anyway, some of the terms you might hear, some of these coins are going to be unfamiliar to you. Let's just start off with the basic, the altcoin. We're hearing a lot of altcoin talk, and you might be out there saying, what the hell is an altcoin? I thought it was just Bitcoin, it was Ethereum, now it's altcoins, and then now you hear all these other coins coming out, Tron, just a lot of them, Ripple, Litecoin. There's over 800 altcoins, and when we talk about the term altcoin, just consider Bitcoin was the first digital currency out there. That was the first. All right, that has that has been the beginning, and everything after that is alternative to Bitcoin. So they're coming out with these new coins saying they're the new improved Bitcoin. Where this coin is better than Bitcoin for whatever reason, or we could use it for this reason, whatever. This is a new area of trading, and when you get that, we got a lot of, I should just say it, just a lot of noise out there. There's so many different coins out there. Most of them are scams. It's the same thing. When you have a big opportunity to make money, all of a sudden out of the woodwork, you have all these people coming out and taking advantage of it. So you're seeing all these coins being brought to market, and of course they're running 100, 200%, sometimes 1,000%. I mean, it's really crazy, and you can actually make money trading these. You have to be on top of them. You have to take a risk, but there is an opportunity out there. Of course, it's a momentum trade. There's nothing to it. You better be on the right side of things, and it's basically that. I don't think there's much behind a lot of these coins, these altcoins that are moving. But the big thing here is to understand, where is that money going? Now, in the beginning, it was all Bitcoin. Bitcoin was your choice, and then you had some other coins coming out, Ethereum and Litecoin, and there's other ones, Ripple, and all of a sudden you started getting that market cap, that digital currency market cap was being spread to these other coins. But to buy these other coins, you really have, you're using Bitcoin in itself. So the theory here is, and it's not really a theory, you can actually see it happen. I could show it to you happening right now. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But what we're seeing is, when we have these altcoins, these coins that are getting a lot of hype in them, they're going from $1 to $100, and even in stocks too. If you get a stock out there, a penny stock, and all of a sudden they change their name. A great example is Long Island Iced Tea. Change it to some kind of blockchain or Bitcoin, and the thing, rocketed, 1,000-something%. It was just incredible to see these things move. And it's just because they have the term or are associated with either blockchain, the technology behind a digital currency, or Bitcoin itself, or another altcoin. And this has really have been given these stocks a huge boost. And it's all fluff. These end up going to be great shorts in the short run. So be careful when you do deal with those. I don't deal with them. I don't try to jump on the flash. I guess if I knew there was a stock coming out and I said, this company is going to get involved in the altcoin business, yeah, I'd probably get into it and wait for that pop and sell into it. But when you hear it on the news during the day, which we do, which the traders during the day, and all of a sudden you get that pop because someone comes out with some news saying that they have some kind of new technology that's based off of blockchain, and the stock pops 100%, I'm not going to be the one chasing it and getting in thinking it's going to go up another 100%. Because this is all fluff. These are all going to come down. It happens in a lot of different this happens over time in history of stocks. When there is a hype going on, it happened with Ebola, it happened with bird flu, anything that becomes focused in, highlighted in the news, and you're able to profit on it. The pumpers will come out and they'll pump it up and they'll try to get these big runs, and people will jump in and the stocks will skyrocket, and some people make a lot of money and some people catch the top, and then everything eventually comes down. We see it in the marijuana stocks, the weed stocks. We just see that this type of trade happen over and over again, and we're seeing it right now with the crypto coins. So now let's talk about Bitcoin. So I love trading Bitcoin. I started charting this out, you can see last year, not that long ago, but a couple of weeks ago, I decided to start putting out a chart every week on my trades. And this is very similar to what I do with stocks every week. I send out an HPS watch list at Day Trading Radio for the stocks, and I outline buy zones, profit zones, and stops. And so I want to start doing that with the Bitcoin or any other coins that we see, the Ethereum. Anyway, so these were some of the recent alerts I sent out. The buy zone down here was based off of what we call a 1-2-3 pattern. All right, it was a nice 1-2-3 pattern. There was actually a divergence here, which is really key for our type of trading. Right here is a huge divergence. And this was one of our best setups. This was our best setup. So we ended up taking a big position here in Bitcoin. And then it did move up to our target hit. And I think we hit our target here. I posted that and did an update. And then expected a little pullback. What we normally see out of this channel line, once we break out of a channel, we tend to consolidate and pull back a little. In this case, we didn't really pull back to the trend line, which I wanted to see. It just continued to run higher. Now, when you start to see that the strength coming in and actually holding the 200 period moving average, that was a good sign that we're going to move higher. So we actually did move higher. Now, at this point, things start to get interesting. Now, I put this chart out yesterday or the day before yesterday, and you can see this underlying trend line that goes out here from December 30th. It comes up here, pushes a little higher. I'm really connecting this pivot area, and the pivot area is really basically where a price moves down and then moves up, or a change of direction, or moves up and moves down. Significant enough where you have the tighter trend, the smaller trend is broken, and that puts in what we call a pivot. So these pivots become important. So we have a big pivot down here, and then we had another pivot here as it pulled back and then bounced to higher. And then we just draw that line up there, and once we get a breakout of that channel line, we look for that pivot, or at least look for that trend line to hold up. In this case, we never really got back to it. We just continued to push higher. Now we're up at this level. We pushed up to 17,000, a little bit above 17,000. Now we're starting to put in a kind of a double top, which is really good for cryptos. Now cryptos, because they're so young, relative to other things we trade, they work great with trend lines and chart patterns. They also work great with divergences. So this is really exciting to me because this is what I like to keep my, take my trades off of. News, of course, will affect anything. So if we had news, regulatory news come out that was a negative on Bitcoin, I'm sure it would push Bitcoin down. People would get out of it and they would push it down. And the same thing if it was like, Amazon said, oh, we're going to accept Bitcoin. I'm sure this thing would rally a couple thousand points. So news will always affect it. That being said, just taking the trade and the ebb and flow of the trade, this is what we're going to be looking for. So right now we have a good breakout. We have a nice consolidation. Well, actually a nice little ramp up here and a nice little pullback. And the pullback could easily pull back to this trend line. Now I always watch this special period. I have a stochastic 60 period thing, and for more information on that, again, you got to listen to the show to learn more about these indicators. So I'm not going to teach them right now, but this is an important one for me on the on this time frame too. This is actually a 60-minute time frame, and if we zoom out, actually I'm going to click on this because what I'm expecting this is, and again, I'm going to be talking about a couple different things here. First of all, I expect, well, we're going to pause here for a second and let me go back and put something in here that I think is important. I want to go back and talk about how many coins are kind of out there in the world. All the cryptocurrency, the market cap for all this. Now, this is a good site. This is called coinmarketcap.com. And up on the top here, you'll see market cap 821,319,244,902. That's the market cap. Now, a year ago, it probably wasn't even close to this. I don't even know what it was a year ago on that. You can see that number. That's all the cryptocurrencies, all the markets here. I guess cryptocurrencies are counted about 1,300 here, 1,384. But again, add up all the add up the market cap of all those. That's what it's going to add up to. That's a big market cap right there. Most of it, number one, is Bitcoin. Number two has been taken over by Ripple, and Ripple's only $3 a coin. Now, Ripple had this news about it being used by, I guess, Asian banks. I didn't really follow it too much. But that's why it has really just ramped up and just really took off. Like, we take a look at that chart. Let's see if we can actually get a chart of this. You can see what happened here. This thing went basically from, price was a penny in May, and went up to $3 and change. Well, there we go. Well, you can see what happened here. Less than a penny, and these are coins that didn't have much going on, and all of a sudden there was some news, and you don't even know if this news is real. Tell you the truth, I believe it's just, it's all fake. I don't believe there's nothing here to this Ripple chart or anyway. But the point I want to make is, and we'll see if we can go back here. All these market caps, the big one, the original one, was Bitcoin. There's a reason why Bitcoin is number one. All right, this is, and a lot of people will compare Bitcoin to the gold standard of the coins. This is a stable one. This is the first one. Everyone else is trying to take it out. Everyone else is doing what it can to all these new coins. Tron coin is huge now. It just took off. Look at this, 18 cents. We're basically dealing with penny stocks here. Penny stocks. 67 Stellar. This Korean $4, $1.73. 96 cents. Bitcoin Cash is that fork, or kind of that split there. Ethereum. This is another one that really is a good one. I like to trade Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then you have Ripple, which is another altcoin. But basically, you can see they all have big market caps. But is there anything behind these? Is there anything really behind Ripple? Maybe there is, maybe there's not. Is there anything behind Cardano and Litecoin and these other, and Tron? There's still a lot of money in these. And what we typically see here, as there's more and more money that is, that's going into these other ones, it's being spread out among many other coins. A lot of that cash is coming from Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is not really performing as the other ones are. And what you will see is, and this is a great example that we see, especially between Ethereum and Bitcoin. These two work well together. And I'm sure the Ripple will work and the Cardano. But just let's consider all the other altcoins to be altcoins and Bitcoin to be Bitcoin. So when there is there's great speculation on these altcoins and people are making that fast money, they're getting that money. The money's coming out of the Bitcoin, and they're exchanging it for these other coins, and that will cause Bitcoin not to perform as well as the other ones. The other ones will be up, some cases will be up 100% and stuff, where Bitcoin will be down. I like to use the Ethereum and the Bitcoin as a good example. When Ethereum is up, money's coming out of Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. It's an easy thing to do. I do it all the time. Remember, you have to also have a platform that makes it easy enough to be able to buy these coins. All right, not many platforms can you buy all the coins at, and there's a lot of issues out there now. A lot of issues with some of the exchanges, a lot of shenanigans going on, a lot of like people are calling it FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's just a lot out here, but the Bitcoin is the real deal. Ethereum, pretty much the real deal. I'm not sure about some of the other ones. Of course, Bitcoin Cash. The Litecoin, there's supposed to be some technology behind it. But what we're seeing is, and to get back to my original point, is when money is going into the altcoins, Bitcoin is not performing. When the altcoins are going to stop performing, and they will, I would consider this a bubble. From number 2 down is a bubble. This is your penny stocks. These are your penny stocks. And some of them will, rise to the top and make something out of themselves. I'm not arguing which ones are the ones that are going to stick around. But in general, we could go down to 1,000 of these, all these things. It's about who could get in, make some money fast. I believe, red coin, pot coin, salt. Every day there's a new coin coming out, and people want to get in. They want to take a shot at it. I said, all right, I'll buy this ICO, an initial coin offering, and they'll buy it, and maybe it'll run up from 6 cents to $2. Huge return. You would be stupid not to take that return. So I understand how people are seeing this as easy money. Steam, Status, Dogecoin, wow, all these. But when this goes down, where's all that money going to go? It's going to go right back into Bitcoin. So my prediction is, and I'm not going to say that it's going to happen, the exact date, but I do expect it to happen soon. And this is January, maybe at the end of maybe this month, maybe next month, that we're going to see some of these, these altcoins here start lack of performance and stuff. Money's going to come out, and that money's going to go into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's going to be seen as a safe haven for these cryptocurrencies. And Bitcoin is going to continue to push up. We're going to break out of that 20,000 level, and we're going to continue to push higher. All right. Now, you're going to see that. So there's a trade to be had here. The trade is whenever Ethereum is going up, Bitcoin is typically pulling back. And when you run into a little resistance on Ethereum, and we'll show you where that is, and you expect a pullback in Ethereum, people are taking profits, hence the pullback. No buyers, and that money's going into Bitcoin. You'll see Bitcoin start to rise. I see a chart right over here right now. This is actually on the Day Trading Radio site. You can see these two charts. Here's Ethereum, and here's Bitcoin. This is a good example right now. You can see there's actually a pullback that's been going on in BTC, Bitcoin, and a nice rip here on Ethereum. You can see the inverse reaction here. This is definitely exactly what I was talking about before. And here's the overall S&P futures, which is nothing's going on. So I understand a lot of people getting into the altcoins, want to trade this, 24/7 trading, gets exciting and stuff. So this is a good way of looking at it. So I am actually always watching Ethereum and the BTC. If you think Bitcoin here has gone a little too far, then look for Ethereum to actually move up as Bitcoin pulls back. When Ethereum pushes up a little too far and needs to pull back, it'll pull back, and then you'll see the money flow back into BTC. Now let's go to my chart. Now you can actually see where we are. We're in a process of a possible pullback. Ethereum actually is a little bit different chart. I'll get to that one next. But I expect this to kind of pull back into that 15,000 area. So let's click on that little arrow there. And you can actually see that was just a couple, well actually, was that earlier today or yesterday? You could see the pullback is starting to happen. So we're actually getting down to that level. Now at that level, I expect it to bounce and then from that point shoot pretty fast to 18,000 and change. 18,000 and change. I actually have a sell order in there because I actually bought here and I bought at some 14,000. I bought at 15,000 and I'm still holding it, and I have an order in on my GDAX to sell at 18,100. 18,100. Now if we actually pull back here to this 15,000 and change, will I add a little bit more on it? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm pretty much loaded up on the BTC right now. I'm pretty much loaded up on it, so I don't know if I'm going to add to it. I think I'm going to stick to this plan of action, looking for a pop up above 18,000. Now, if this gives us a pop to 18,000, 18,500, the closer we get up to the highs, the better chance this has to actually taking out those highs and just continue to move and taking out the highs, and then 20,000 is going to come next. So I'm going to sell half of my position. Actually, I don't have the whole thing in. I have half of my position I'm going to sell at 18,100, and then the rest I will leave on there because I do think we get back to highs, and we're going to trade it. We're going to trade it. Maybe we have a little longer term investment. A lot of people say, 50,000, 30,000 on this. Yeah, could easily be. Technically speaking, a new something new that we're hitting all-time highs recently, right up against 20,000. It's our first pullback. I want to show you a better chart of it now. See if we can actually go to our daily chart of it. Let me see if I can bring that up. All right, here is just a basic chart of the Bitcoin chart. And again, parabolic move right now. Big move up. It went from 10,000 to 20,000 in a few days, basically. A couple weeks it ran up. And then it went from about 20,000, got close to it, depends on what exchange you were watching. It went from that 20,000 level almost back, all the way back down to 11,000, 10,000. So it got cut in half here. That was a big, that's a nice pullback. It's a 50% retracement. Not bad, especially for the Fibonacci's out there. They like that. Now we're just going to, kind of push this out and kind of talk about this big setup. Because I would like to see this, again, get back up to the 18,000. At that point, I'll be happy enough to take a lot of profits off, start to get some, get into some cash, maybe get into something new at the time, if anything is actually setting up at that time. Let me hide for now. I'll use a different thing. But right now, you could actually see this pulling back, and you'll see a much, like I said, that 60-minute time frame and the way I have it charted out, it's a much nicer way of looking at it. This is just a basic look at the recent high up here. So you have your recent high. You have your recent low. I mean, this is a big candle low, but we'll just mark it down here, and we have a decent pullback into that. Move this down here. Why aren't you moving for me, man? Alright, a couple more. That's what I want to do. I want to just kind of put out just a small little channel, a 1, 2, 3 channel. We're in the process of a pullback. I would like that 15,000 mark because that 60-minute time frame is a tighter trend line. But if we look at the big picture, you might have an argument for a pullback to about 14,000. So 14,000, 15,000, that area, I'm going to call it that 15,000. I think we hold that. But maybe we get down a little bit further, 14.5. Really depends on how long that takes. But eventually we're going to break out of here and get back up. Now the big highs up here, a lot of things could happen before that. But watch this trend line. This is a really nice trend line. Once we break through that, and because of the, so many people that are involved in this now, and how fast this thing is getting play, and it's on CNBC. Everyone's talking about it. A big technical move on this is going to be followed. That's why these things are working so good. They're working great on breakouts, momentum. Once this, technically breaks out and puts in a higher, a lot of people might say, well, this is too fast. It's the first pullback and the first bounce, and we're actually going to come back down. There is a shot of that, but because of the demand out there for cryptocurrencies. Again, the altcoins, I don't expect to perform as well as they've been, and I think that money flows back into the Bitcoin. People want to put that money to work, and from that point on, we're going to actually explode higher. Now, look at on the news here. This is an interesting thing. It kind of backs up our kind of a statement here. Surging demand for digital currency is overloading many exchanges. Infrastructure resulting in degraded performance and a halt to user signups. So the Binance, Bitfinex, Bittrex, all saying no to new users. So I've heard about this, because if you want to get into these altcoins, you're going to have to get go somewhere to buy it. And now you're hearing like Binance is one place you could get these altcoins, and now people are actually selling signups. They're like selling. They're scamming you and saying, "Oh, I have a couple user accounts I could sell you for whatever." Have you ever heard of that? I mean, that's getting crazy. All right, so I want to sign back in here. And again, if you want to follow some of these charts I do post on here, this is the Trading View platform. And I used my screen name is DayTraderRockStar. So if you go to DayTraderRockStar, you'll see any charts I have in my profile and stuff. So there's my home. All right. Let's take a look one more thing at the Ethereum here. Ethereum about 3%. Again, Bitcoin. Like I said, we usually are going to start to see these two switch places. Let's just take a look at the Ethereum chart. I didn't chart you out that one. You can see it's broken out to new highs recently. Look at that. That was just recently, just a pop now. Now, everything looks good. This is an hourly chart. A little extended. Then we get to 1200, maybe a little bit higher. Then when we pull back on here, we're going to look for that Bitcoin to take over and surge higher. Now, this is a pretty nice looking chart. Nothing here that tells us that there's any weakness. We're watching that 60 period stochastic period down here, and it's been very strong. No rotations. I want to look at the daily on this fast. And I think this is the last time we were looking at trading this breakout. That's why I have this little red line here. There was a breakout. Like I said, breakouts, support and resistance, trend lines work excellent on cryptocurrencies as of this point right now. And take a look at the breakout here. I mean, we did trade this breakout. Took it up to about $900. I got out. I haven't been in it yet or since. So I kind of did miss this move, but I was happy with this breakout move. That's when I started, seeing that pullback in Bitcoin at the time. And I wonder if we could even do a layover here. I wonder. I haven't tried the layover here. Right. Well, here's your 60-minute time frame, and you could see it slightly. I mean, I could really, you see this pullback here. See if we can actually identify some of these levels here. Let me stay in drawing mode. All right, so this little pullback on, again, the chart is of Ethereum. So when we pull back on Ethereum, we have the move in Bitcoin. Don't mind my sloppiness. And I'm just trying to kind of show you that. You're not seeing it in every place. Here you had this kind of drag up, push up here on Ethereum. And you had this at this point. You started moving down a little, and it just had a hard time going. So you can actually see that too. So this is where we're starting to see this kind of divergence between this. The Ethereum moving higher, money flowing out of Bitcoin, moving lower, and when this starts to pull back, this is going to push up. So that's why I say we should be buying Bitcoin on this pullback, which we are. If you're looking at that chart, that 60-minute time frame, that's exactly what I wanted to show you. So it's not bad, not a bad layover there. What do you call that? All right, there is a little bit better one, and this is just not. This hasn't been going on for a long time, but I'm definitely noticing it now with the real surge of the altcoins and all these new coins that are coming out. Definitely seeing the as these altcoins are pulling money out of the Bitcoin, and people are just finding different places to take advantage of it. And I expect this to work out good to the downside right when we start to move down. Maybe we'll start tonight, overnight. We'll keep an eye on it. I will be posting those charts on DayTraderRadio.com and keeping everything up there, up to date live. But that's the gist of tonight's video, talking about the future of Bitcoin, what I see going into January, into February. I think we actually got a nice rally back up to 18,500. At that point, I'll decide if we continue to look for a big push back up to the highs. If we get through those highs, back up to 20,000, this thing could really, really take off. And there's going to be a big reason if we get up there. There's a lot of a lot of built-up pressure. If we get back up to highs and getting through that, that would be a tremendous, probably a lot of attention being given to the Bitcoin. And again, in the beginning of the new year, seeing a lot of fresh money coming into this market, they're taking advantage of this. So hope you enjoyed that video. I will try to get another video out next time anything happens. And I'll see you guys in the markets. This is DayTraderRockStar signing off.